Hello, my name is Cindy Mosteller. I'm the co-founder of Conservatives for Truth in Politics with Dr. Dave Woodard, a longtime Republican conservative and professor of political science at Clemson University. On September 30th, Dr. Woodard and I held a press conference in the State House of South Carolina to announce the formation of Conservatives for Truth in Politics, TIP. Our goal is not to endorse any candidate in any race, particularly the governor's race. But our goal is, as conservatives of conviction, to ask serious questions of a serious candidate for governor, Ms. Nikki Haley. We do have some concerns even regarding Ms. Haley's record in the General Assembly. Running for governor, the highest level of leadership in our state, is based on the qualities of leadership. Leadership is often seen in the General Assembly by the substance and amount of laws that one is able to pass as a primary sponsor and move into actual law. Ms. Haley, from the record, we can see that from your years in the General Assembly, it appears to us that the only piece of legislation you have passed is House Bill 3803, which provides that an individual working in a beauty salon who only shampoos hair should not be required to seek licensure as a cosmetologist. This, Ms. Haley, is this the only bill that you have been the primary sponsor for that has moved into legislation? This is ironic to us if indeed you are prepared and are stating that you will give other members of the General Assembly scorecards for their performance in their respective bodies. Additionally, with regards to the pro-life issue, which I and Dr. Woodard are very strongly pro-life, it appears to us from the record that on February 24, 2009, Bill number 3245 dealt with a mandate that employers must give employees seeking an abortion. Greg Delaney, my friend and adamant pro-life Republican, was working the floor to prevent such a mandate coming into law. You, I understand from those there that day, you were in favor of such a mandate. This puzzles us both in terms of a business perspective and in terms of the sanctity of human life. On the issue of transparency, which you have made a household word across this state, but is this a word that you practice in your own life? In terms of the stimulus, you say that you voted against it when really you voted for it until you voted not to fund it. Is this type of John Kerry behavior really what we want in South Carolina? I know that you did not support the cigarette tax, and yet you have spoken recently that you would be in favor of a grocery tax coming back onto all the families of South Carolina. In addition to these issues, we also have specific questions that go to the important topic of leadership and character in office. Ms. Haley, the allegations made against you by two men, Mr. Larry Marchant and Mr. Will Folks, have specificity and some corroborating evidence that we feel is significant. Additionally, in October, both of these men, at the request of Truth in Politics, have signed an affidavit swearing under oath to the veracity of their public allegations regarding these affairs. Ms. Haley, why won't you sign an affidavit? We are only asking for an affidavit that will swear to the veracity of the public statements you have already made to the millions of people living in South Carolina. Tell us in writing that what you've said to us verbally is true. That is all we ask. Why, Ms. Haley, when Gresham Barrett asked you in the runoff if you had disclosed all of your income, you answered yes, when the facts are that you had not. There was still $40,500 from Wilbur Smith that you, Ms. Haley, did not report until hours before the June 22nd runoff. And why are there so many questions surrounding both your employment at Lexington Medical Center or Lexington Medical Center Foundation? It's difficult to know which one you worked for. And clouds surrounding your departure there, with you saying one thing and the medical center saying another. Additionally, we have this serious question. Why have you not responded to our request that you disclose any lobbyist or lobbyist principals that you solicited for funds when you were working for that center, and who those lobbyists and lobbyist principals were? Why, Ms. Haley, do you continue to say that you have an accounting degree, which we believe, but that this is one degree that qualifies you to hold the position of governor, when while having an accounting degree, you have not paid your taxes on April 15th for the last 5 years, and 3 of those years you have not filed by the legal deadline of October 15th. In fact, Ms. Haley, when you stood on the State House steps and addressed those patriotic South Carolinians on Tea Party Day, April 15, 2010, and had that outstanding commercial made, "It's a great day for a tea party," you knew what those fine South Carolinians did not know, that you had not paid your taxes even on that day. What does this say about us as a party? This discussion has caused a lot of issues to emerge in this party, issues of leadership, issues of censorship, issues of freedom. I remind all of us that the Republican creed talks about we are free Americans. We cower to no one save our God. We have the right to stand erect and to think for ourselves. And that is what conservatives with Truth in Politics, that's what we are doing. Our party can be better than this, and I can tell you, Ms. Haley, and so many looking, that the grassroots of this party are strong, and the Republican conscience at the grassroots level is strong. We know what we stand for. We know what we expect leadership to stand for. It's not just about policy, it's about the person that you are. Dealing with the issue of leadership, Ms. Haley, I have one last question. I am a Charlestonian. Last Friday, October 22nd, you addressed the outstanding cadets of the Citadel. With the press there, you knew your statements would be public. You've given us insight into the MO, or your philosophy of leadership, Ms. Haley, when you said to those cadets about the members of the General Assembly, "If they mess up, I will burn them." If this was a skit, it's not funny. This sounds more like the verbiage of a third world dictator, Ms. Haley. You don't deal with people like that, do you? This state has gone through 15 months of scandal at the top because of leadership morally compromised. We cannot have that anymore, Ms. Haley. It's a time for decency, integrity, honesty, transparency, and respect in the General Assembly. South Carolinians don't need any more pigs in the General Assembly being brought in to make points. We need strength of moral leadership and strength of character leadership. This is what we are looking for. I will close with a quote that we think is profound. It's our founding quote for Truth in Politics. Gouverneur Morris, a founding father from New York State, wrote President-elect George Washington on the eve of his inauguration in 1789 these profound words: "The exercise of authority depends on personal character." We believe that at Truth in Politics. Do you believe that, Ms. Haley? The people of South Carolina need you to believe that. Answer the questions that we are asking. Thank you.